What's up, Responsible Players? We're back with another Top Cut interview. This time, I'm actually joined by the fantastic
George. I'm George. I'm the China guy. I'm the guy who went to China. That's me.
That's the guy. He went to China. What'd you end up playing today?
Today I brought Kaisa to Houston Regionals.
Kaisa to the Houston Regionals. Now, that's obviously one of the favorite decks in the meta right now.
Yeah.
How did it feel piloting it for day one specifically?
Day one was very stressful. Everyone's on the aggressive battlegrounds, and I think they've kind of reduced the skill expression. If I was playing like a mirror, like a full mirror with battlegrounds and everything, I feel a lot more confident in Swiss. But having to play Reaver's Row and Arena's Greatest every set really makes it tough. So Swiss was very stressful. Probably the most stressful Swiss I've ever played in a card game tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you play a lot of other card games, or?
I played a few months of Pokemon and a few months of Lorcana.
Okay. Also, both very different skill expression games, I feel like, comparatively.
Yeah, I think like Lorcana at its best was one of the most skill expressive games I've ever played. Early on, the set one of Riftbound was pretty good, so I think Pokemon, of course, the same people always win. That game's very skill expressive as well.
Absolutely. Speaking more about day one, were there any matchups you were worried about as a Kaisa player? I know that right now, as we've seen a lot of the meta shift kind of a little bit towards Annie as like the big counterplay for Kaisa. Is there something else you maybe thought you might have issues with in Swiss, especially with there being a best of pricing?
Well, I didn't want to hit Annie too early because I feel that it's not too skill expressive on the Kaisa side. When Annie has it all, you pretty much lose. And I didn't want to hit Aurora too early in Swiss.
Yeah.
But late in Swiss, it doesn't make too much of a difference. The Kaisa players are good, so it's close to 50-50. And I was afraid of Aurora. I actually had to play the first seed player this morning because I got in at 64th somehow. And my opponent was MF Aurora. And I managed to take him out. I got a little bit lucky, and I managed to take that deck out. And then the run got smooth from there until Andy eventually took me out.
So you had a rough run starting out, but you managed to get back on your feet. What did the rest of your day two, your top 64 look like? What else did you end up playing? Was it all Kaisa?
So my first round was MF Aurora, and then I played a Kaisa, who's my friend from China. He traveled here from Shanghai. He's actually a Canadian that lives in Shanghai, and he traveled here to play. He got top 16 with me in Guangzhou, the first Chinese regional.
That's awesome.
And we had to play on stage, and I had to team kill another. I consider myself honorary Chinese Riftbound player. So.
Awesome. Yeah, you spent a lot of time.
So I had to team kill, unfortunately, there. And then my next round was an Annie, who I got. His hands were kind of weak, and I got through it quite easily, 2-0. And then the last Annie, man, he just had it all, and he got my ass.
Sometimes it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't see, especially in this game, I do feel like there's not as much outside of the raw card draw. When you recycle something or when you make those early mulligan plays, you never see those cards again, especially if you're seeing on one of them.
Yeah,
is there something you see in your opening hand that you maybe keep just in case for the Annie matchup, or is there something that maybe you saw and you just always toss it?
Some great cards in the Annie matchup were the Hexecray and the Falling Star. These are really important in the early game. You also, of course, need a 2-drop. I think most decks, if they're missing their 2-drop, are always sending 2 cards away. That's a tip for you guys. If you don't have something to play on your first turn, you should probably look for it by sending a full mulligan. So, I'm keeping the Hextech, the Falling Star, and then looking for my 2-drop. If I could make my hand, maybe the last card would be a Stupefy or something.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Stupefy very good.
Yeah, the Stupefy can combo with the Falling Star or the Hexecray to surprise kill a Kaisa. That's cool.
Yeah, that also for the players that are trying to play on that curve to get around the Hextech. That's very useful.
Yeah, I think you have no Void Seeker and you hit them with the Hextech too. It's a very good trick.
It definitely is. Is there a point in which you were sideboarding more often than not into certain matchups, or?
I'm sorry, you asked me if I was sideboarding every game.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, so you've sideboards for different matchups and stuff, right? How important was your sideboard? Is probably a better question.
Sure.
A lot of these matchups.
I figure I brought 2 to 4 cards for every matchup, but there's some overlap. I tried to create a very tight Venn diagram where stuff was universally useful. Against Annie, which is what people are going to be thinking about, I brought the Vile Mausoleer Battleground, which helped a lot. And then I brought Singularities. Most of the time, you just have to clean up a Kaisa and a Darius or something.
Right.
and rain is quite expensive. So it's a lot easier to get the Singularity plus a 2-drop to retake tempo. So I decided that I would side some Singularities for this event for Annie. And then I was also bringing in my Void Seekers against Annie, because I think you take out some of the slower cards and you get some of the cheaper cards, and Void Seeker is really good for killing the Kaisa. If you ever successfully gain tempo, you can elect to hold up the Void Seeker, and then you're in great shape.
Okay, yeah, that's more of where I was going with this. Like, is there a piece that maybe you would change in your sideboard? Like you said, it's very tight, but is there something that maybe after 2 days of playing, you're like, I probably wouldn't run that back, or does it feel like a really good tight set?
Colin, very good player, took me out at CCS with set, and so I decided to make the compromise of putting Mega Mechs back in my side deck. It's also like kind of hedging my bets against Aurora a little bit. Like I said earlier I'm trying to cover multiple matchups with my 8 cards.
Absolutely.
And so I decided I would cut Sprite Mother. I wasn't really afraid of Victor anymore, and I wasn't having much success with Sprite Mother against Annie. So I decided to cut the Sprite Mothers for Mega Mechs. I think that was an okay decision. I was happy they were there. So maybe kind of the inverse of what you asked, but I was happy to have my mechs today.
That's good. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing the mechs for that exact reason, I feel like. What is one big takeaway from this event that is like something you're competitively that is going to stick in your mind?
At the risk of being a little negative, I think the meta has reached a place, because the cards were revealed so long ago in the China events and stuff. I think we've reached a place where we're kind of spinning our wheels. Of course, Colin's set deck was innovative, but he wasn't able to make it today. Through, and I don't think any sets made it to top 64. So it does kind of feel like we're spinning our wheels a bit with maybe a surprise here and there, a temporary surprise. And unfortunately, it feels the Kaisa mirror is getting a little bit worse with the fast battlegrounds. It's getting more high variance. So I think it will be hard for players to be consistent moving forward. That's my takeaway. I'm excited for Spirit Forged.
Spirit Forged sounds like a good set. Is there a champion that looks like, or a legend, sorry, that looks like you might want to shift to for the next set?
If I make a big change, it will be to Annie or Ornn. I think Annie only gets much better, and Ornn looks great as well. Ornn's looking really good. So maybe Ornn will be a little too slow, and maybe we'll have like Ari problems. But we'll see. I think Ornn is cool. I'm a little disappointed with the signature spells, but I think he's looking pretty cool.
But he does get 2.
Yeah, I'm terribly disappointed with Rumble. I don't like that card's design. It's the passive might is not very exciting. The passive shield. I thought, why is his ult? His ult should be the signature spell. It's so iconic.
Yeah, the line.
Yes, that's been around since I was a kid. When I was Jakiro on Dota, or when it was the same ultimate, right?
Yeah.
I want that one.
Yeah. I think I don't want to talk too much about card design, but I do think they kind of dull the starter deck characters down.
Sure.
Quite a bit, because I do feel like Fiora almost feels just like an inverse of Volibear, where you want to play because when a unit becomes mighty, you channel.
Yeah, that one seems quite good. I think I believe in that one.
I think it's still fine because you still can play like the fast mid-range, whereas Volibear wants to play the big.
Yeah, she taps when she channels, right?
Yes.
So you can't Kinko Monk and get 2?
Right.
Okay, that's fine. Pivoki Fiora, channel 1, that seems cool.
Yeah,
you have a lot of mana if you do that, for sure.
A lot of.
Maybe you can DJ really early too. Maybe it's some kind of Fiora hits you with the early Divine Judgment line going first. You'll have 7 mana on your 3rd turn.
Stuff to think about for the next set. Well, I really appreciate your time. Is there any shout outs or anybody you want to thank? I appreciate you sitting down with us and having this conversation.
Shout out to the Riftbound community. Everybody's great. Shout out to all my friends in China. I don't know if they watch this interview, but you guys are extremely supportive. I appreciate you. Of course, all my friends, my Metafy Discord, all my friends I've made in there. That's been great. Shout out to my sponsor, Luxury Gaming, and you guys for thinking I'm important enough to interview me.
You're definitely important enough in my book. And congratulations on your top.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you at more events hopefully.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you guys.
Pleasure. What's up, guys? It's Jake from Response on Play. If you're enjoying the event coverage, the interviews, and everything coming out for Riftbound and for Universes, don't forget to drop a like on the video, comment what your favorite part about the video was, or subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any updates, and ring the notification bell. That way, anytime we play content, short form or long form, you're there for it. We really appreciate it, and we have a lot of fun making this content. We'll see you guys on the next one.